Good morning. I'm Councilman Steve Bennett, University Heights. I am the current president of the Northeast Ohio City Council Association. That's not to be confused with NOCCA. That's called NOCCA, N-O-C-C-A. We are a council association. On behalf of the organization NOCCA, I'd like to acknowledge some people here in the audience with us. State Representative Yuko, Mayor Lawrence of Willoughby Hills, Mayor Oso of Richmond Heights, Vice Mayor Del Zucker from University Heights, and Paul Yaski, Director of Department of Development, Cuyahoga County. Over the past several years, NOCCA has presented forums and panels on various facets of regionalism. Northeast Ohio, regionalism in this area, it has become clear that there are two main levels. One is the marketing, development, and planning. The other is the operating level. We as council members primarily deal with the operating level. Particularly in these suburbs, you have seen joint dispatch for fire and EMS. You have seen now proposals going out for joint recreation. You're seeing things coming out now for the consolidation of trash removal from the collection points to landfills. You've also heard of consortiums to buy salt. That is the operating level. It differs from the planning and marketing level and development level in that it's much smaller. It's how you operate and manage things, and that is actually going to be smaller in the future. The true regionalism, as far as dollar amount goes, actually covers 15 counties if we are to be competitive with the 10 already regions that operate in the United States that are pertinent in the world market. Those of you who fly on airplanes and airports know which ones they are. You've heard of Miami, you know about Atlanta, Metroplex, Dallas-Fort Worth. There's only 10. Football team takes 11. Isn't that right? Right. Well, I don't say what number we're going to be in the 11. We'd like to be in that 11 as part of the team. Air service transcends both levels. The service that it provides to the market, that is the whole general area. Those of you who fly, New York has 3 airports, as you know. It has Newark, LaGuardia, JFK. Chicago has 2, O'Hare, and the one everybody flies to, Midway. Those airports and those airlines, the hubs that operate there, market the area. The service to and from them to different parts of the world, different parts of this country, market the area. That's how business people see us. And we are traveling. It was always my been to have been the last gate was Cleveland, and people say we're coming here. They don't know our secret. I have spent the last 2 weeks in the Washington, D.C. area, inside the Beltway. It moves, it's fast, it's quick. But they don't have the quality of life that we have here. That's what we have to offer. We really have to offer something else too that you don't see there. It's time to think. If you look at this area, we need to focus on the marketing. And I'll just lay something out for you. I call it C-I²E. If you're creative, you're inventive, you're innovative, or a top-notch educator, Cleveland and Northeast Ohio is the place to be. That is where it's at. You look at what we have here, what we've been in the past, regarding from Neal Park on, innovation, invention, creation. Look at our schools. You can look at Case Western Reserve. You have John Carroll in the east, Walden Wallace in the west. Let's look around. top-notch education. We have something else, too, for education. It's called the Emerald Necklace. That's what we are. We need to market it ourselves. The other side is the operating level, which air service does have. That's the air paths, the noise levels, runway expansion, runway contraction. Should it be here? Other concerns are weather. How do you make approaches? Weather changes. Those of you who fly know that certain times you fly and you take off to the North Lake, or sometimes, if you leave from Hopkins, you fly south, no matter which direction you're going. Those of you who fly to the East Coast, like BWI, Baltimore, Washington, we used to call BWI, will notice that when you cross that weather line, there's always you're the basketball in the plane, dribble, because you cross the air currents, air fronts. When we look at this, the issues on the operating level, those are the issues we get into today. We also have to be cognizant of the marketing and overall level. What does air service bring to this community? What does it bring in jobs? What does it bring in impact economically? And what are the functions of the air service itself? Those of you in the computer world know that if you don't have backup, you don't have anything. The day the computer crashed, what happened? Those of you who don't have backup elsewhere, not on site, off site, when that unforeseen fire comes, know what happens. We look for airports the same way. So there might be some redundancy, so we think, but I think you'll see today that's not necessarily so. The goals for this summit are to gain a regional perspective and understanding of the economic impact of air service on the region, from commercial scheduled freight and passenger service to for-hire, contract, non-scheduled freight passenger service, and non-commercial, private air service. I call it the man with the Piper Cub. The role also is to understand the role that we as elected officials, both administrative and legislative, play in regard to constituent concerns and airport operating and safety needs, from one-way length and repair to takeoff and landing paths, noise levels, and so on. And finally, to find ways to work together to ensure that the region has the air service it needs to be a true competitor in both a domestic and international marketplace. And anyone thinks we're not in the international marketplace, just go and pick up your glassware you see. Where is it made? China. Maybe that shouldn't be so. Maybe it should be made here in Northeast Ohio.